So I finished editing my Cyberpunk initial thoughts video, and I'm waiting for it to be exported so I can upload it. But then I came across an article, and this article further proves the argument that Sony and Microsoft failed during their next gen console release. According to this article, the Nintendo Switch was the top selling console for the month of November. Let me say that again. In the month of November, when Sony and Microsoft both released brand new next gen consoles, they were outsold by Nintendo with the Nintendo Switch, a console that came out a couple years ago, and a console that is considered to be last gen, but also I guess next gen. So how does that make sense? Also, remember the fact that when it was the start of quarantine and COVID being a really big problem, back in, spring and summer, Nintendo Switch consoles were sold out completely. You either had to buy it from a scalper or you had to wait. Nintendo weren't able to produce any more consoles because of COVID. Not to mention that some of their exclusive games, such as the new Animal Crossing, was selling out rapidly to the point where retailers didn't have an update of when you can really get the game. It would just say, expect it to ship by this date, and you would be lucky to get it by the date that they said it would ship. So you're telling me that you guys, Sony and Microsoft, released new consoles this year, your debut next gen consoles, and you were outsold by Nintendo? Now, before you say, well, we don't really know the number of consoles that the PlayStation sold or Sony sold for the PlayStations and the number of consoles Microsoft sold for the Xboxes, the Nintendo Switch sold 1.3 million consoles this month of November only. Now, let me put that in a different perspective for you. New York City, which is where I'm originally from, has a population of somewhere over 8 million people. Could be a lot more now. But let's take that 8 million number. You're telling me that you have 1.3 million consoles for the Switch, both I'm assuming both regular and light, in total 1.3 million, which doesn't even cover half of New York City's population. And Sony, who were also releasing two consoles, because the Switch had two. Sony had two, standard and digital. Microsoft has two, X and Series S. They couldn't make over 1.3 million units to sell, but then they're claiming that they are selling out and have so many more in stock. Then they say that there's no more in stock. Then they said they're going to make more in stock before the year's over, and yet we're still not really seeing retailers have them in stock, except for their own retailers, Sony's website, Microsoft website, and we see like Costco and Sam's Club and all other bullshit. But where's this in stock for? Best Buy, Walmart, Target, GameStop. You said you'll have them in stock before the year's over. We're already halfway through December, and you don't have these consoles in stock. And you're not only, lying to us about it, but the fact that Nintendo, a console that's kind of, it's not old, but it's older, outsold you in the month? When people should be jumping for the fact that they want the brand new console, but they can't, so they gotta settle for the Nintendo Switch. I'm not saying the Switch is a bad console. I enjoy my Switch Lite. I had the regular one, but I use the Lite more. So I have my Switch Lite. They do have some good exclusive games on the Nintendo Switch, but it's the next gen console release. You're supposed to get people excited so they can buy a next gen console, and they couldn't. So they had to get a Switch because there actually was Switches in stock. But, whatever excuses you guys are going to present with why you don't have enough consoles out there, I'm just done with the excuses. I'm done with all the bullshit. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's right here. Nintendo outsold Sony and Microsoft. I would understand if Nintendo outsold one of them, but to outsold both of them, it's kind of impressive. I'm Anthony Olan Tech. Thanks for watching. See you next time.